Yes, Stephanie has to. Ready? Good evening, folks. We'll call our meeting to order. The roll call, Allison Beatling, have I got that right yet?
Deadling. Here.
Karen Fitzpatrick.
Here.
William Jones, if he's not here. Steve Sells, I'm here, and Greg Stinson.
Here.
All right, the first of the minutes, we have the minutes from June the 3rd. I'd like to make a motion we approve.
I'll make the motion that we approve the minutes from June 3rd.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Just have a sign-in sheet, and you want to go through that?
Yes,
Sure.
sure. Sign-in sheets available for anybody who wants information after today's hearing. Anybody who's going to speak for or against any petitions tonight. If you're going to talk at all, you raise your hands for you. Swear in penalties of perjury, the testimony you give tonight is the whole truth and nothing but the truth. When you speak, and I'll remind you, if you forget, just state the name and address for the record. Sworn in, sir.
Okay, first case tonight is ZB 2026-06B, Chris and Rebecca Wheelan. Julie, you want to?
Thank you, sir. Our first case tonight is a variance request at 303 South Walnut Street. This is in our R4 residential district. This is a single-family residence. This is not within our floodplain districts. Everything surrounding this property is a residential property, also zoned R4. There's a location on the map for you. This is within the Walnut Street Historic District. So the petitioner is requesting a development standards variance. They would like to build a 10 by 14 open air wooden pergola directly over the existing concrete patio on the property. So this would be in the front setback. Front setback requirement is 15 feet, and they would like to be 4 feet from the right of way. So that's what they're requesting tonight. Here's some photos or renderings that they supplied for us. What this structure would look like. They have satisfied all of our public notice requirements, so we can hold a public hearing tonight. And as I said, this is our R4 district, and our new requirements of the UDO, this is a 15-foot setback. So at this time, I'm going to let the petitioner explain what it is they want to do, unless you have any questions for me at this time.
Anyone on the board have any questions for Julie?
I have a quick question just to clarify. UDO that's 15 feet from the sidewalk or from Walnut Street?
So generally, the way the right-of-way works is the right-of-way is from the back of the sidewalk to the back of the sidewalk is technically the right-of-way. So the edge of the pavement is not where the setback gets measured from. So the setback gets measured from the right-of-way. So your property line is not from the pavement, it's from where the edge of the right-of-way is. So in most cases.
Did I understand that? No.
Okay.
So are you measuring from the sidewalk or from the street?
You measure from the back of the sidewalk.
From the back. So the UDO says 15 feet from the back of the sidewalk to this new pergola is what that we would normally require.
The property line starts at the back of the sidewalk.
Okay.
And so the UDO requires that from the back of the sidewalk to the front of the house, would be 15 feet. So nothing would be built in that space.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
But this is only gonna be 4 feet then from the back
That
of
is
the
what they are
sidewalk
requesting.
to the structure. Okay,
So
Okay.
no structures would typically be built between that space, from the sidewalk 15 feet back. So your property line isn't necessarily at the edge of the street in most cases.
but it looks, in the diagram, it almost looks like their existing sidewalk isn't 15 feet from the back of the city sidewalk.
So permits are not issued for concrete patios or steps or those types
Okay,
of items.
so that wasn't even in the picture then.
So those types of items don't require permits. It's when you build
Okay,
pergolas or decks or structures.
okay,
Those types of items are what they consider.
okay.
Chris Wheeler, 303 South Walnut. I don't know that I have much more to add that Julia hasn't already said. There's an existing patio structure out front of our house that was already there when we purchased it. We just want to erect this open air pergola to aesthetics. And you're correct, from the back of the sidewalk to where the 15 feet mark, the house isn't even quite that.
Right.
Any questions?
Any questions for Chris? Thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody opposed to the request? Okay.
You did.
Didn't know if there was anyone else here.
No.
So I included in your packet the information here. There have been some variances granted for front yard setbacks by the board in the past. None have been for this close. Typically, we do not see them for this close to the street.
Julie, I have a question.
Absolutely, sir.
Under your staff recommendations, should the board approve this petition, the staff would recommend the following. And there's a couple of things which they have to go before other boards to get this approved. Is it planning?
No, those are just my standard recommendations that they would need to be in compliance with the UDO and that they would get a permit from my department.
So, but in the second one there, so it says they'd have to be reviewed and approved by the planning department.
That is correct.
That's her. Yep.
That's me.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Any other questions? Thank you, Joe. Someone like to make a motion we approve or not approve this?
I make a motion to approve it based on staff recommendations with the two listed contingencies.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you, Chris. It's approved.
Approved.
All right, the second on our agenda tonight is case ZB 2026-0707, V is Dancer Veneer Americas Incorporation.
Thank you, sir. This is also a development standards request. This is for multiple variances. This is for this project. It triggered the development requirements of the new UDO, which included landscape buffering and sidewalk requirements. So that's why we're here tonight, is the project that they're doing actually required 3 permits from my office. So then UDO got kicked in. So, they did satisfy all of our publication requirements. Public hearing can be held. So we have a requirement that all developments install a pedestrian network of sidewalks or asphalt pathways. And then for industrial properties adjacent to single-family residential, the side and rear lot lines are required to have a high-intensity landscape buffer. And there are 3 options. The petitioner has proposed an alternative to these 3 options. So I will let them explain the project and what their alternative is.
Thank you, Julie. Amy Irvin, 2 Walnut Street, 206 South Walnut Street, with us. I've got with me David Marks from V3, the construction firm that is working on this with Williams Creek Management. Brian Lee, who's our maintenance manager, and then Michael Brown, also from V3. So I know we gave you guys a lot of information already, so I just wanted to touch on a few things, give you guys a visual of the project. And then, David, if you have anything.
The other way down.
Okay. So basically, back 2 years ago now, the town came to us to look for solutions to the color of our wastewater. So for those of you that were in the veneer industry, you know, we have from our backwater, it's typically a dark brown color. That has an effect on the UV treatment at the wastewater treatment plant. So they went to us and to Amosville and they asked, you know, for us to try to come up with a solution. So basically throughout this process, we've looked at all kinds of different things. We looked at actually putting a wastewater treatment plant in, doing like filtration, doing chemical treatment. And with the visions that we have and our commitment to sustainability and compliance, we kind of shifted to a more natural approach. So this ecological treatment system is actually a natural filtration that will clean the water and do everything we need it to do before it discharges to the city. The goal in the future is to be able to tie it back into the Batwater program so we can recycle the water. So when we're looking at what this does, basically the underground treatment cells, they filter the wastewater with aggregate vegetation. So with regards to where it's located, you can see up here on the screen, it's just in that corner, Perry and Holland, probably the other 5 or so acres isn't even touched. The residential across the street is actually owned by Danzer. So there's no significant above ground feature other than the outbuilding that we will use for our pump house and urea treatment, which is a natural treatment that we're gonna need to start with. So, and then we'll have an earthen berm around that. So this is kind of what it looks like. They did a rendering. It's not exact. But you see where the building is with the little green, the green roof, that is where we would actually have our pump house. And everything else that you see is completely underground. The above ground is, and I'll go through those points and jump in anytime you want.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, to your point, it's all natural from that point back. So really what you're looking at from a built infrastructure standpoint is really just that front end runoff, is that Holland?
Perry.
Yeah, Perry, sorry. Yeah, off Perry. And then the rest, especially from a street related view, you're gonna be looking at basically earth and berm, and you might see the tops of some of the vegetation that's within the cells themselves.
So their goal was to have a very natural looking filtration system that did not have a big footprint visually, especially. And this is honestly just, it has the vegetation strips and those cells, everything runs underground. All of the water and everything is underground. The berms and many spots are already 6 foot. We're just gonna be even with, you know, you guys know that property, it's pretty uneven, so, we already have that natural barrier anyway, with those plans. So, you guys know the drill, like the different requirements that we have to approve, the 3 required findings. So these are just the points we wanted to make. For the general welfare, the underground treatment system will have no open order. The secure building, we would enclose that with a fence rather than the entire perimeter of the property. If we did the entire perimeter, it kind of takes away from that natural look that we were going for, and you've got this open field that's kind of now developed and looks a lot nicer than it has. The earthen berm actually provides that natural screening and buffering. So as far as sidewalks go, there's no sidewalks on those streets anyway. We're not asking for more access to that, just because it's clearly not there's no increased foot traffic or any people working around there. I mean, there's a sidewalk across the street. And then the adjacent property, we have, the natural appearance will be preserved. So basically, again, you're just looking at nature. You're not looking at any big building that we might have had to build. We talked about having to put in new holding tanks. So again, this was the most simple way of doing this. We're going to do an opaque fence that goes across around the control building, again, rather than the entire perimeter. We're not increasing traffic, noise, any public access. It's basically a self-serving type of system. And the adjacent property values and uses will not be adversely affected. Again, we own the 2 properties across the street. The next residential property is pretty far down from that area anyway. The perimeter fence, again, it kind of conflicts with the natural design. And if you knew that there was warehouses there before, the existing gravel and stone, they're not conducive to plant vegetation. So, the fence would look nice. We'd make sure everything looked good. And again, natural sidewalks, they don't really prevent it, or they don't offer any benefit for a non-public industrial facility. So we're just basically asking relief on those side conditions and project functions, not for any economic gain.
Yeah. The only thing I would add is that the intent of the buffer is still generally being met here. It's just for the specific footprint of the improvement that you would potentially see.
I only did 72 slides, so we're almost, halfway through here. So basically, we respectfully request the approval. The design we have provides adequate security, screening, environmental stewardship, and compatibility while satisfying the statutory variance criteria.
So go back to your
Yes.
original picture, the rendering of the,
You
so
want this one or
you'll
that one?
still have, even though there's no sidewalk, you'll still have curbs
Yes.
there. Okay.
Yeah, there's already curbs.
Yeah, we're not improving the street condition. We're not changing anything.
Yeah,
That's
there's
what I should
already
say.
curbs. where
It's
there's
curved.
curbs.
So there's no sidewalk there now?
No.
No.
That was-
Up Holland.
I was like, that was my only concern.
Yeah.
taking the
I need to
sidewalk
get
out.
Only on the
Yeah,
opposite
yeah.
side where you have the residential, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And there is there.
And
Just
our
not-
goal wouldn't be to invite more public
Yeah, you're not.
access. We're just kind of utilizing what we have now.
And then is that concrete?
on top of the berm,
Yeah,
that's gravel. It's just for
crap,
ease of maintenance, access. Yeah.
walkways.
And
Yeah.
the entrance going to the building, that's a little bit askew of what it is. That entrance is actually a little bit to the right of the building.
What's your name, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry. Brian Lee, 205 South Kyle Street.
Thank you.
The driveway is an existing drive into that lot now, so the curbs are there, that entryway is already there, and we'll be utilizing that, but I don't want to misconstrue anything. The entryway to the building will be more in line with that cell on the right.
But you'll have all the grassy areas and all that will be filled in,
Yes.
grass.
Yeah, so you could walk on that and you're not falling in anything, you're not, unless we had a major flood or anything, and there's no water,
Yeah.
it's all underground. I mean, you're really just looking at a big strip of vegetation.
If that's underwater, we're in trouble.
Yeah. So,
So just different kind of trees and,
if you want to talk about the plants.
No trees. It's natives. It's just native plantings. They might get a couple feet tall. something like that.
Okay.
Low stature vegetation, but no trees. It would, the root system of the trees would be conducive to what we're trying to do underground.
Okay.
But in this case, the natives with their deep root system, those actually provide some of the treatment. Just letting Mother Nature do what it wants to do anyway. Makes it much less maintenance intensive on them in the long run.
And we've got sand, we've got gravel, vegetation, so there's layers.
Yeah, and there's a liner. I mean, it's required to be lined, so there's no interaction with the soil beneath or groundwater or anything of that nature. It's all self-contained.
Will there be standing water when it rains?
Not typically.
Saturday, probably.
Yeah,
Here
we
go.
modeled, so from that standpoint, from like a stormwater management standpoint, we have to take that into consideration because this is open air. Rain's gonna fall on it. I think we modeled 8 inches in a 24-hour period of rain, and you might see an inch, something along the, but you're never gonna see it because you're gonna have plants. But there's not gonna be standing
We're not
water.
gonna have kids jumping in there and stuff like that.
No. Mm-mm.
There wouldn't be anything for them to do, maybe some mosquito bites or something, but they'd be walking on vegetation, so. Saturday was a big rain, we all got flooded, but even at the elevation that sits, the drainage is pretty good over there, so I don't see it being an issue. And we also banked for extra storage for that type of thing.
We have extra storage. We have recirculation, which just helps with the treatment. But what it also allows us to do is if there is, for some reason, a catastrophic rain event that has messed with the combined sewers around, we can essentially shut off the outlet from this and just continue to recirculate it until conditions improve and we can discharge again. So it actually benefits the system quite a bit, the existing sewer system.
Any other questions for us? Do you guys have anything to add? We have our president of Williams Creek, the engineers that helped design this, Neil Myers, with this too. So, all right.
Any questions from the board?
I think that answered all. Thank you.
Anybody here to speak against the petition?
Questions for me?
I know.
So I recommended approval on this. And I had a couple of conditions on that. So just a couple of standard conditions. They have already applied for building permits, and those are in my office under review. So
So it's gonna make the area nicer, and then Danzer will have their own maintenance groundskeeper per se for the vegetation, or you just let it go wild?
I would say, I mean, you would let it go wild. You'll have some grass that will have to be mowed around the outside.
But the vegetation won't grow where it just looks,
We contract our grass mowing.
Yeah.
So the people, Blackwood, that mows now for us, they'll continue to mow once this is.
yeah, it looks like it'd be nicer to me.
Yeah.
already maintain that
Right.
property anyway.
Yeah, I just wondered about the vegetation and how, you know, they would.
I think the only thing like Keith mentioned would be that kids,
That-
I mean, they're gonna try to ride their bikes up those, you know, that's gonna happen. As long as the,
Is that gonna be like a school hill?
Yeah.
Have you had any issues with that right now? Any kids playing on that property?
No, down the road, we have someone that, has a basketball goal, but the higher berm is actually on the railroad side.
The berm itself, like, it's kind of tricky because there's so much unevenness in the lot over that area. But from Holland Street, if you're looking at the finished product here, you'll have an elevation change of about 7 feet. If you're standing on Holland Street looking at the berms, they'll be about 7 feet above Holland.
And you already have how much now?
Right now, we already have probably 5 to 6.
Yeah, so we're already,
But some of that will be taken out. The berms are going to be somewhere, if I understand, between 2 2 and 3 feet. Once all the grading is done, the berms are only
Yeah.
about 2 or 3 feet. But when you're off property looking at them, the only place the berm will look short is when you get close to the railroad tracks on Perry, because the road goes uphill there.
And again, that's a police department issue, not our issue as a board.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask, do you see it an issue where you have to post, like no trespassing or something like that? That might be,
Well, I mean, we've had issues.
I'm not a
down-
lawyer, but you might be protecting yourself if you did that.
Yeah, I mean, we've had issues down at domestic with people riding skateboards and stuff like that. We dealt with trespassing. I would say that we would just kind of see, but as far as safety goes, I don't feel that there's and they can say that there's not a safety issue as far as kids getting in there. It's not ideal.
Yeah, no, not at all. Gentle slopes, there's no fall, trip hazards. And anything that's over there is, we have some underground infrastructure that's fallen and blocked. And holes, just blocked lids.
And you guys have cameras over there, I'm assuming?
We have one on that side of the building now, but, we've got some options to add on
Yeah.
other cameras, so we haven't really
Nice.
talked about too much of that yet.
Again, that's not really for our board's decision, but just an interest in
Sure.
what goes on.
Yeah, our engineer had a conversation about fencing the site with your engineering staff. And that's not one of the requirements of our ordinance. So that's why you didn't see that in my staff report tonight.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So specifically fencing the site.
Any other questions for the Julie or the applicant to go on? If not,
I'll make the motion that we approve, what was the request number?
CB 2026-070.
Yeah, that one.
with the staff
With recommendation.
Yes.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
That was a
you.
good explanation.
Thank you
I
for helping our
appreciate
wastewater treatment plant.
Yeah, we are here because of that, so
Yeah.
we appreciate that.
Well, I remember the lumber one from way back.
Oh, yeah.
Is Amos gonna do this, something
They're
similar?
doing something totally different. They don't really have the room or the property like Stanford does, so.
They're doing more with mechanical and chemical filtration to get rid of their color.
And then they'll hand it over to the town after they do their thing.
Yeah, same way with us. It'll still go to the town, but it'll be cleaner when it gets there.
Oh, that's nice.
And like we talked about, in the future, we may see what we need to do to, and this is 2 or 3 years down the road, we may see what we need to do to add in some storage for, and maybe we don't even need storage, we're working on that still, to recycle that water. Right now, our bathroom alone uses right at 1 million gallons of water a month. So all that water that's used, there's about 900,000 a month that goes back to the city to be treated because of evaporation and such things. If we can even recycle half of that, that's saving, wastewater to the
Yeah, that's
town,
nice.
it's saving treated water they have to produce for the town. So if we can get to that point where our water is clean enough after the cycle runs through the cells here, then we're gonna look into the recycling aspect of this.
All right, thanks, everyone. I guess we have findings back on the agenda.
Yes, Mr. Vice President. On this would be just the approval of the notice on a case that was in June, reflecting the denial of variance. That's those findings and approving those.
We're approving what?
A notice?
You're sending out, every case you have here, you send out an official, here's what we did. You're
Okay,
approving that as draft.
okay.
I make a motion that we approve the findings.
Yes.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, aye. I guess that's, since I voted against the last, I'm gonna vote it
Not really that you can do that if you want. That's perfectly fine.
out. Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Thank you, guys.
How was it?
Gonna have it.
Thank you, we appreciate it.
Good to see you, though.
When does that start?
Yeah, you too, you too.
So the way right now,
Oh, it's
Oh,
starting
yeah,
now.
yeah, it's all dug up over there.